Righty-ho. Okie dokie. We are looking good. And we have a couple of Guess the WN8 episodes to get to. That should be fun. Okay. Does the AMX mitigate HG shells in the same vein as the Batchat? No. No, it does not. Noted. Okay. Cool. 1,000, and it's like 880, and then 700. Oh, it's 800, not 880. Okie doke. That is just fine. 1,170 clip potential. Intra clip 2.73. That is classic. Is what that is. Okay, let me make sure my tongue machine is working. It would be terrible if people couldn't shoot me in the face at will. It is pointing in the slightly wrong direction. There we go. That's aimed remarkably well at my face, I think. Splendid. Hello, Kirby. I think my eyebrow is slowly coming back. Hang on. It's getting there. It's sort of almost coming back. You know, I can feel it. I can feel the hairs. Right. So we have a Guess the WN8 to get to, or two. We shall see. It's Obi One Eyebrow Wallace. Yes. Yes, it is. Linda, thank you very much for 78 months. That is astoundingly generous of you, fun, so thank you. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Question, did you do a K91 review recently, or is that coming up shortly? Yeah, I did. It was released on YouTube. That's already released, isn't it? It was the most recent, or is it still scheduled? I'm not sure. I certainly have done a K91. Let's see, it might be this one. Let's see. Yeah, Toten Schluck in the K91. Is that the one you're after? I was bothered by the end game in this particular replay. Ladies and gentlemen, the end game bothered me. It was very sad. Okay, right. Let's get started then. My platoon mate, looking forward to seeing that with him. Cool. Right, let's see. What patch is this replay from? 1.28621. Roger that. By the way, chat, I apologize for any pained grunts that may emerge from me, because I currently have a hip injury which was fine. I did it like 2 weeks ago, and I just started training, you know, anemically, very steadily, very carefully, and it wasn't getting better, so I stopped training completely, and now it's got worse. So I'm guessing it's healing? But it is very, very painful, so if I move in the wrong way, I may exclaim vividly in pain. And I just want you to know that it's not because of your Twitch messages. Oh wait, we never redeemed the prediction, did we, for the Lethal Company? I died to other, which means no one wins. We get to take all of chat's points. Yeah. Oh, viewers with the correct outcome will be awarded 10,000. Okay. You died to yourself? No, I died to other. I died to a mine. Ooh, Blokanovka. Okay. Right, say hi to YouTube, people. That's my prepare for YouTube. I'm first time you died was to the cakey. No, everyone else. Oh. Oh. I fucking sneezed and it sent. Lumbago. Lumbago. Lumbago! I'm okay. Oh, cripes, that hurt. Just sent a straight through my hip. Damn sciatic nerve, dude. Is Acne Wednesday WN8 getting? No, I'm considering bringing them back and doing them live regularly, because it is good fun. Alright, let's go into YouTube mode then, shall we? We need a screenshot to caption this. What, just me in pain? That's not right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Guess the WN8. I think the volume's too high. Give me a moment. Okay. Bear with. Oh, no, it's not too high. It wasn't too high, I'm just dumb. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an AMX105. It's a paid replay. Say hi to Twitch chat. They're watching along. Hopefully they'll be able to issue some guesses as well. Well, this is Guess the WN8. My viewers submit games. I have to guess their stats based on watching their gameplay. There's no engine sounds. We'll sort that out in a moment. But we've got an AMX105 on Prokhorovka here, which is always a positive, and some stewarded advice being given out from our fine player here in chat. Fellow lights, play it safe until they fuck up. Don't throw your life away. And on Prokhorovka with 3 light tanks and 2 arty, that is very much pertinent advice, because light tanks staying alive is valuable precedent to give other people. Literally, you can do a lot for your games in light tanks by staying alive. It's nice to spot, right? It's nice to get vision, it's nice to do a bit of bonus damage, but number 1 on the priority list, stay alive. I've said this before, I'll say it again. You are infinitely more valuable alive and doing nothing than you are dead and unable to do anything. And that principle should dictate your light tank gameplay, at least while there is valid opposition. And this is true of other tank classes as well. You can look at what directly opposes you. Let's say you're a defensive TD. What directly opposes that style of gameplay on the enemy team, and do you need to remove it? If you are an aggressive heavy, is there only one aggressive heavy on the enemy team? Okay, good. If that dies, it clears me up to work, right? Same principle in light tanks, but even more important. How do you think this game changes if the enemy AMX, the enemy T100LT, the enemy Tessac all die? Suddenly, the gameplay is immense. The potential, the sporting potential is abhorrent. And that's what we're waiting for here. That's why this patience is merited. It's why this defensive push is apt at this point. Now, what information can we gather? The Leopard 1 on our team has just taken a hit. Is it possible that that's a blind fire? Yes, absolutely, in that position. But it could also mean we have aggressive view range from the enemy team, and that AMX taking basically no damage there. Let's actually look at this again, shall we? Because the AMX 105 is very good cannon rating. It's like 4% base better than the Sheridan, as an example. It's only a little bit worse than the T100LT. So, very good camo. We want to see distance of this AMX when it comes up, because it can tell us if he has a CVS or not. So let's have a look at this distance. That's like 86? Yes. That is a CVS in play along with optics on the AMX there. Useful information for later. That's why I have, when I play, I have the distance markers. I have a mod that shows me the distance of every tank so that I can make these calculations quicker without having to sort of manually aim at all of these tanks to determine distance. Now, defending hillways here, that is a ambitious bush. I like it. I like it if we're going to sit there. Because no one on the enemy team sits in cap. No one's going to sit in cap at this point. So this is a very stewarded bush. Because you might think, oh, you can't sit that close to the cap. People will proxy you if they're in the cap. No one's going to be in the cap. They'll be dead before they even get close to it. So this is a really nice bush to take. And we've got a lot of camping. T100LT is scouting one side, AMX is scouting the other side. The priority targets at this point for the defensive team, for the Leopard, the DBV, the Grill, the Death Star, the VZ, the Arty, the enemy light tanks. If anyone in this team sees a light tank get spotted, guns turn to it immediately. I don't care if you have a kill shot on a 260, a DBV. I don't give a heck. Right? If you've got a kill shot at a light tank right now, you take it. So I have to see if his team decide that that is a priority. Come on, Tessak off the board, please. Doesn't seem like our team have a shot, but certainly crippling vision being provided here, and not in an awful lot of danger. Right? This is a very safe position to hold. Yes, I believe the Tessak can get out of that position. You won't spot him exiting at like F6, somewhere around there. Hello, Pyrrhic. But we got questions. Where is the AMX right now? We know that Leopard 1 got spotted earlier. Good focus by the arting line there. The Leopard getting spotted high. The FV dying to the 261 is odd. Potentially a blind fire. Or he got spotted by the Tessak. Interesting. We're trying to determine where the enemy light tanks are at this point because it's the most important question that we can ask. Where is the enemy team's vision? How do we kill the enemy team's vision? And to be fair, this is a fantastic setup. I'm not sure how you break this as the enemy team. Outside of YOLOing a light tank, which is very risky, because if you don't get the enemy light tank killed, you're throwing away your potential to win. But you just have to play extremely slowly, I guess. And if you're a coordinated team, right, then you play it slowly, you slowly spotting check, and you calculate and you blind fire, right? Simple as that. Because what is the running course from the enemy team right now? You spotting check, right? You gather information and you communicate it to your team. Let's take this DBV, for example. I know as this DBV player, based on where I crested, that there is a light tank present. Right? No TDs spotting me from all the way back there. It just doesn't happen. It's out of spotting distance. I also know, based on my Tessak moving over the middle here, that there's no light tank present in this bush line, right here. Or likely this bush line, right? Or this one. So there's remarkably few places that that light tank can be. He's not going to be in here. The Tessak would have picked him up. So what I can do is I can spotting check, right? I can poke around here, reverse, do I get spotted? No. I poke a little further, do I get spotted? No. Poke a little further, pull back, oh, I got spotted. The front of my tank was exposed to what angle when I did that last poke? Let's see. What angle? Can't be in the open there, I would have seen him. Can't be in the open, can't be... Oh. right? It's easy logic, and that's how you win end games like this, is just doing spotting checks, finding out where that vision is from. We now know that there's presence in that bush, and we can call down Artifier on it. It's a simple thing. It doesn't happen a lot in random games, but it's important to be aware of how you ideally win game circumstances like this, because while for a random battle capacity, this is an extremely good bush, if this was a Clan Wars, if we were talking about organized, good players on the enemy team, this is a bad bush. I mean, not bad, it provides what it does, but it's easily countered because there's no other options. There's no alternative that you're in, right? It's very easy to pinpoint where this view range is coming from, and there's no way out. There's no escape route. You can't fall back behind a hard cover or something like that. So it's worth considering, and I'm hoping that the enemy team don't have this epiphany of, oh, I need to spotting check and communicate that to my team. AMX dies. This Tessac is now the most important tank left on the enemy team, and he is spotted. So every single tank on our team should be trying to kill that Tessac right now. Our T100 LT... Yellow's out of position. I'm not entirely sure why do we take that kill shot right now. Probably not, but I would have been tempted. I would have been a little tempted. We're still on 1,400 hit points, but passivity is a good play here. Super Villain, thank you for 55 months. Much appreciated. This Tessac thinks he is unspotted because he's permalit. He thinks he's not lit right now. So we just gotta wait until he pokes. GG. And that's the game one. Simple as that. We can now relocate. So now we've lost the LT's vision on the 1-2 line. Alright? Is this DBV going to make a solo push over that flank? No. He's like the only tank that's been spotted over there. He's not going to go into cap. He's not really going to do anything. So he's not a threat. So we leave this position using the cover of these bushes to get about 380 meters on this DBV. And then we go straight down into this sort of area, poke up into this bush line, do a bit of investigation, see if we can get a funny spot. Once we're clear that there's no poke present on the lunch line currently, then we dive all the way down here, try and get up into this location, have a look, maybe get an angle on these bushes, get some funny shots into the DBV, and just get forward presence in a manner that can cover both flanks. Right? So let's see if that's done right now. Was that a blind fire from the DBV at a particular bush? I mean, it's ambition. Okay, we are relocating, and we're going for the kill secure on the DBV. Rabbit, thank you for the sub. That's much appreciated. This I'm not sure about, and the reason I'm not sure about it is because we don't know exact positions of the enemy team. That could be a push out of nowhere, highly unlikely. It could be on the other side of the punch line, but it's also because of priority, right? We don't want to allow a random leopard to come screaming down the 1-2 line. Quite frankly, if a leopard on full health YOLO'd down this line right now, we'd lose. Right? That's got enough health and enough speed to get in there, spot targets, and the incoming fire takes us apart. That is a threat. This DVV is not a threat. All right, so I'm thinking in terms of priority, in terms of preventative measures. You've got to look at threat on the enemy team. We talked about the light tanks dying and how that takes a huge threat away. Now we don't suddenly stop considering threats after the opposing light tanks are dead. Now we think, okay, what's the alternate? What's the fallback? The leopard. Leopard has mobility, bit of cannon rating, really good view range. So that's what we want to play counter to primarily. We've only got one light tank left. We don't really want to be trading health for irrelevant tanks, because what is the recourse of that DBV? What does he do if he's left alive? He's fire support, sure, but he needs spots. He's not going to spot under his own power. So if we take away his spots, he does nothing. We don't need to kill him to make him useless to the outcome of this game. In my humble opinion. Stay there, don't crest. Good, 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 good. We don't know what's on the hill currently, so this is good position to hold. Ooh, okay, good information. Now we can do a poke. We can do a poke just from a cross spot. Just a little high, nice. I would have ducked left. Okay, Jagdpans are chilling. We are exposing to the hill quite aggressively. The 1-2 line right now really needs vision. Coming all the way over here. Look, if I was that leopard on the enemy team and I saw that AMX spotted over there killing the DBV, you know what I'd be doing? No! What vision do they have 2 leopards. Okay, fair. But I'd be no, because I know that is the best chance we have. I now have certainty that the AMX with the CVS, which forces stacked bush camo down to 66% from 80%, is not there, is not spotting. So I would take that opportunity. I would go screaming down that flank, and I would spot what I could, and I would make such a dent in the enemy team's force that I don't think they would be able to recover from it. And so if we put ourselves in a situation where the only reason that the team is still together and we still have a chance to win is because of the enemy team's lack of agency, is because of the lack of skilled tacticianry from the Leo. And I never like that. I never like to just leave it up to chance if I can avoid it. So I fundamentally disagree with going after the DBV in that situation, as opposed to killing or preventing the egress down the 1-2 line. Because I think you could have killed the DBV very easily after clearing the 1-2 line, going toward the middle of the map and just picking up the funny spot. You don't even have to be spotted to get him out of the battlefield. Okay, so at this point, we can active, dip, duck, dodge, dive, and dodge, right? So, I've talked about this before, and it's hard. It's very difficult. It is a high or low skill cap technique, and it's active spotting through a bush line. And this is difficult, but I'll try and explain this as aptly as I can. Stacked camo has a limit in water tanks. If you're behind multiple bushes, the camo doesn't stack infinitely to like 140% or whatever it would be from a 30% bush, then a 40% bush, then a 20% bush. It's a max of 80%, regardless of how much foliage you are behind. Foliage camo can only grant you 80% bonus camo. I mean, when a CVS is in play, that limit is 66%. And it's why CVS is one bad for the game, but it's why they're so good in situations like this. Because while the enemy team is trying to see through 80% foliage camo, the CVS only has to see through 66%. And so that's why it's a massive advantage when it's CVS to non-CVS vehicles. But in addition, we have to think about tactically, how do we approach spotting in a bush line? And this is specific primarily to light tank to light tank, CVS to CVS, right, is where these principles apply most. It favors the faster tank. Generally speaking, one tank with a CVS versus another tank with a CVS, one tank will spot the other one first, but it will be 5 meters. Like that will be the difference. Like you just spotted them. Or it will be proxy. Both tanks will be stealth until they run into each other. The most likely situation when you are going through a bush line to spot something that opposes you in the orange and camo is that you both get spotted. And in that scenario, it favors the tank that is moving faster. It favors the tank that is making the active spot. If you are passive in a light tank and you're passive in a bush, and some light tank lands up on you, you are more likely to die than they are because they have the speed. They can keep going and they can duck, dip, dodge, and dive. You have to accelerate while you're spotted in front of fire. We've all died to that before, right? And these principles are important in endgame play because you've always got to think, okay, what is the value right now of going slowly, right? And right now, I'd argue it's valid. We're trying to outspot a leopard, a bunch of TDs, right? Passive scouting, steady scouting, yeah, probably quite valid. But I do want to impress upon people that if, for example, there was the T100LT still alive, the AMX 13105 still alive, the Tessac still alive, passive scouting would be a bad play. Instead, what you would do in this situation, 4 health light tank, is you would YOLO. You would go absolutely feckin' ham up this bush line, all the way up until you said, okay, I've cleared that. Then you duck round to the left, because chances are you're both gonna spot each other. You're moving, enemy light tank isn't. Bingo, bango, bongo, right? All hail the wheel? What do you mean, all hail the wheel? There's not a wheel spin, is there? I see nothing. Okay. Oh, hail the wheel because of my lack of eyebrow. Okay, yes. Right. So, let's keep going here. Sorry to pause for so long, but it's an important thing to consider when you should keep going. And it's why, at the start of games, right, if you are playing lights on... A really good example of this is Ghost Town. Ooh, we are all familiar. Good, leopard forsakes the position. You move up a little further. I like it. Ghost Town is a really good example of this. That bush line all the way down the east side of Ghost Town. It's a long line of bushes, and a lot of light tanks at the start of the game, they start out by passively going up there, slowly working their way up. And it's poor play, it's poor fundamental light tank play. Because as we talk about, the likelihood is you're going to be spotted at the same time as you spot an enemy light tank. So you should be going fast. If you are scouting a bush line against an enemy light tank, do it full speed. It doesn't feel right, but fundamentally, 90% of the time, it's going to favor you over what you spot. The CVS is good enough, right, that even if you are going full speed and you spot something that you don't think has spotted you, you can hit, slam on the brakes, and you'll still be safe. That flush may well have lit you. No? Very lucky, okay. Ooh, bit of funny then here. We're still going to be a little worried about where the Horanyi is. At this point, we can start to explore a little bit. Go up towards the Horanyi, try and find out where he is. Okay, let's not worry about the leopard. Let's clear the side here. Why not clear A2? Because we haven't done that yet. Can we clear A2? Okay. Working on it. Good. Beautiful. Okay. Good stuff. Should have done that linearly, but it's alright. Unfortunate. My eyebrow blowing back is not unfortunate, Francer. So, where is Doshori? Is he on the hill? I can't remember where the VZ came from, whether he came low or high. 9,000 spotting, but we've seen an impressive performance. If he died there, I would have laughed. But yeah, it's stewarded, it's opportunistic, and it's the opportunity for another lesson as well. And it's the rule of hit points. And I mean, it's not a rule, it's an indication, it's a guide. Generally speaking, if you finish a game on more than a one-shot for the majority of tanks, then you could have got more damage, more XP on that game. It's not always the case. There are outliers. But generally, if you end a tier 7 game on 700 hit points, so you end a tier 10 game on 900 plus hit points, there was an opportunity, if you look back in the game, where you could have got more damage. You could have done more. And I think it's important that I emphasize when I talk about that dynamic that it's hindsight. So you have to be reasonable with yourself when trying to implement that thought process and thinking, oh, I shouldn't end a game on full health. When you look back on a game, you can validly say, yes, I could have got more damage. Was it reasonable at the time, based on the information that you had, for you to make a certain play to trade that health? Often not. Right? So it's not always a justification for, oh, I should have played differently, but it's an interesting thing to look back on as a learning exercise and say, okay, where in the progression of this game could I have traded my health for more damage? Where could I have taken more risk justifiably? This is an interesting one because certain maneuvers make me feel like it's a more mediocre game. I mean, this is a lovely game, but certain factors go into me thinking this is sort of 54%, somewhere around there. It's the lack of damage hunger, for one thing. It's the not checking A2 toward the end. What else is making me think it's not? Chat, what do you think? You've seen this game. You got any ideas as to where you think this player lies statistically? I'm thinking it's 53, 54, 58. I mean, light tank gameplay is very, very difficult because light tanks don't play their tank. They play the enemy team. They play everything around them. You don't play your tank, you play your team, you play the enemy team. So it's very valid. It could be a very good player who's just played proportionally. But I think a good player would have been more stewarded tactically. Going after the DBV in the corner, it's an entirely irrelevant tank because it dies via consequence of correct play. Right? If you go up 1-2 line and you oppose the Leo, you oppose these things, what can the DBV do? You're sitting there as a DBV player, 370 meters of view range, very good camo, admittedly, but you don't have the ability to go in and outspot these tanks. You'll just die. That is simply a fire support position. And once you've cleared the 1-2 line, you can then dive into the middle and you can kill the DBV from this position while never being spotted. Because as we talked about earlier, if I was that Leo and I saw you get lit, you bet your ass I would have been taking advantage of your absence. So, yeah, we'll do a poll. Tell you what, we'll do a poll for chat. Or we'll do a prediction. What is the closest win rate to this player? Players? This player. Okay, let's start from 48, shall we? I think that's reasonable. 48, 49, 50, let's see, 51, 52, and we'll go up to 58 for you, chat. I don't think he's higher than 58 myself, but there you go. Like 56, I'm happy to be moving along. Okay, we can only get up to 57. There you go, chat. That's all we can get to. Hey, thank you for the follow. Alright, there you go, chat. There's your prediction. Get your votes in. Vote some channel points. 45, you think he's that bad? I don't think he's that bad. My vote is going to be somewhere around 54%. That is my vote. I'm just going to note down what I think. I've got to come up with a WN8 guess or value as well. So let's have a gander, shall we? So I'm thinking 54, maybe on the high end of 54. Light tank gameplay is difficult. Passivity, bad tactical precedence on going after the DBV. Let's go 54.62. I think it may be a little lower. Vote in your own poll. I'm not allowed to. I can't vote in my own poll. That would be entirely unreasonable. Okay. WN8. What am I thinking? Maybe 1,989? Somewhere around there? Maybe a little higher, I'm thinking. You think 52%? Let me note down his name and then we can check. Low Jono. Okay, let's have a look and see if we hit the nail on the head with this gentleman's statistics, shall we? Lol Jono. Alright, so estimate 54.62% wins and 1,989 WN8. Come on. Wow. That is very impressive gameplay for a 48% player. That is very, very impressive. Holy heck. That's fantastic play, quite honestly. That is absolutely splendid. Wow, okay. Well, I am way off the mark. What? 99% voted for... Nah, dude, that's sus. That's feckin' sus. Who looked up his goddamn statistics? No one watches that gameplay and calls 48%. That's bollocks right there. That is absolute bollocks. Someone cheated, I'm telling you. Some motherfucker feckin' cheated. Absolute nonsense, mate. Okay, right. So, let's give this man some gold. And to people on YouTube, I will say thank you very much for watching. Look in the description for next and previous episodes of the series and the playlist as well. And you can also find... what was I going to say? Yeah, how to submit. If you want your replay guaranteed to appear and be critiqued by my good self, then you can submit it with a £10 donation and it guarantees that it will appear in this series. So, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Right, let's get this gentleman some gold. That is, as I say, very impressive light tank gameplay for a guess the WN8 win. Cool. Okay, 500 gold. Go and demount your equipment in peace, fine sir. Cool. Okay. I should hide the name so that people can't look up the statistics and scam me out of channel points. Disgraceful behavior. All right. Let's get into Google then, shall we? Boop-a-dee-bop. Wonderful. Gonna take this out of that. And we got a manticore as well. A manticore. Alright, let's see what we can do. 630, 1.28.0.0, and 630. So this one. Let's remind ourselves of the statistics of the Manti, right? So we don't talk absolute nonsense throughout. We've got to remember this is old patch Manti, so ammo is limited. Only 20 shells as opposed to 30. What's their win rate in the last 1,000 games? 47. I'm telling you, dude, that man just sent me the outlier of all outliers. Like, what the heck? That's wild. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lake cheated. Like, unless he just didn't see the game at all. Like, maybe he only saw the last bit of it, where he didn't check A2. And when I was moaning at him about going after the DBV. Like, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, you won! You voted 48%. And now everyone thinks you cheated. Because no one else fucking gets 48%. Because 48% is nonsense. Alright, Manti. Point, yeah, accuracy 1.9 seconds, aim time 248, standard 268, premium 68 top speed, 25 in reverse. What's the shell travel time of Manti? 1.1, APCR for 1,375. Nice. I have too many points, I just put them all on the lowest. My estimate was 54% otherwise. Yeah, me too. 400 meters of view range. Wonderful. Okay. Cool. Looking good. Do you know Manti might actually bounce some HE shells? Not even kidding. Alright, 0.38? Am I mad? 0.38, 1.9. Okay. Cool. Right, let's hop into another guess the WN8, shall we? Wait, maybe I can actually remember the thing for. Is it? Yeah, I remembered it. Second unlucky. Okay, cool. So yeah, if you want to submit a replay, you can do it via there, and it will appear in the Babidi Boopity in the list of submissions that I've got to go through right here. So you can see where you are on the list. Right, Manti. Let's. Oh, I am recording because I'm live. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Guess the WN8, where my viewers submit games and I have to guess their stats based on nothing but their gameplay. This is a paid replay. If you want to find out more about how to guarantee that your replay appears, you can look in the description. Now, a Manticore sat here. Old patch Manti. This isn't 2.0 when you got 30 shells to play around with. This is old patch Manticore with 20 shells at max, and 4 of them are HE. 4 of them are HE, 4 of them are APCR. This ain't remarkable HE, this ain't Sinlag HE. This is like 50, 60 pen. That's not good. Standard pen, very good for a tier 10 light tank, 248. Premium, 268. I mean, I'm so used to seeing Manticore gameplay when they just go with full premium. I mean, rightly so. Was the alpha damage buffed for the Manti as well? No. We'll be back after these messages. I made the terrible mistake of rewinding the game. At which point, the game decided that it didn't particularly like me anymore. So yeah, we'll just boot up the game again real quick. Don't mind me. But no, I don't believe the alpha damage of the Manti got buffed. I think it should have got buffed because it's a battleship gun. It should have the Oho gun, and it should make the Oho gun noise. Oho! Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go into a game. No, it's not 490. I wish it was 490, but it's not. Okay. Alright, let's get in, and we've got to make sure that we're 40 seconds or 20 seconds in. Okay, splendid. Manti should have the WN8 gun. I agree. Okay, we've got engine noises and we're back. Wonderful. So, Mr. Manti. Going up to the middle. Would I go middle in this matchup? Leopard, Concept 5, AMX 105, Tessac. No? I'd go there for a shot. I don't think I'd commit to it. Because... Okay. So, ducking left here, unless the only justification for this is sheer speed. So, what I want to see from him taking this position is I need to see him going to this position to try and get a funny shot into someone crossing this land or the bridge. It's risky because you got the counter boost from the enemy team coming up there, but that is the only justification for the approach going straight through mid and taking left. Because otherwise, right, if you want to get to this position and you want to do it safely, you just boost. Right? You're in a Manti, you come up here, you run exactly at this angle, you go up, you go over, you go to here, and then you come up on these rocks, take a hard left, you turn all the way around it, and you go up here. It's much safer, it's much more subtle. The only reason that you wouldn't do that is because it's slower, right? So logically, I want to see the reason he's done this is because he needs the speed to get an early shot here. If he doesn't go here, then it was a bad play. Okay. Fine. Let's be a little defensive, and we do get a possibility of the early side of the IS-7 being side of the IS-7. RT is nervous. Woo! That's a big boy. Are you really playing with this man? I like it. Yes, this is good. This is really good. I talk about advantage and disadvantage state a lot. Well, actually, I don't know if I term it like that, but it's the you should poke on a moving tank. I've done an example in a commentary before where I was in a T-44. There was a full health STB-1 about 300 meters away having a fight. And I was poking, just trying to delay the combat because we were winning the other side. I wasn't poking, I wasn't trading damage. As soon as he started moving, closing that distance, then I started poking. Then I started giving him the shot. And the reason for that is because it's a time limit engagement, right? If the STB gets close to me in a 1v1, I just die, right? That's not a favored engagement. But when a tank is moving, its accuracy is worse. It disperses. And by poking and giving a moving tank a shot, I mean, this was on Westfield, so I'm trying to get him to make the decision to stop in the open, and maybe he takes a TD shot from the distance. That's a factor as well. But there's two options, right? If a tank is moving from one position to another, it means that they think the former position is worse somehow. They don't like it. They want to move somewhere else. If you give them the shot, they have two options. Fire on the move with a far higher chance to miss, in which case you can then overpeak and get the easier shot. Or they stop to try and aim again. and stopping delays them getting to the game state that they want, right? They want to get to this position. If they stop to aim, they take longer to do it. There's only 15 minutes in a game. It chunks some time away from that clock, right? So it's very logical to be poking on people when they are moving, right? Not just because they're less accurate, but also because it gives them that opportunity to, hey, are you gonna stop for this shot? If you're not, I'm gonna shoot you. Do you stop? Okay, now I'm not giving you the shot anymore. It delays, which I really like, because he poked on the Jagdpanzer as soon as it became clear that he was moving, which is good tactical precedence. Now, why do I worry? Why do I worry about this position early in the Manti? Is because I'm still posting more and more videos, and, you know, it's becoming more and more widely known that there is a 0.28 accuracy, no luck. There is a boost on this map, right? And there's a boost on both sides. I discussed the one back there, but you can also boost up here. It's a little more difficult, but you can do it. Certainly in a concept, in an E50M, in a Leopard, or you can even do it in a mouse, right? It's easier and a faster, more mobile tank, but you can certainly do it. And so, coming up here in a light tank with those kind of boosted-minded tanks on the enemy team, even something like a Tessac in close quarters is going to be pain in the ass for a Manti if he can dictate the combat. So that was a concern, but didn't happen, so what can you say? Go for the engine. Okay, so we had a perfect opportunity for an engine shot there, right? We have the side, sorry about the steam, or the smoke, but there, right there, engine fuel tank not only helps out the DBV, chance that we set him on fire and we save the DBV who gets another shot into the VZ. It's a simple optimization. It's just a little thing that you can do better. When you have the shot, you don't gotta go out of your way if you're in a random fight or combat to say, oh, I have to target modules. No, you absolutely don't. But you should when you can. When you're given the side of a Blitzkriegska, right, and he's not a one-shot, shoot for the engine, shoot for the fuel tank. It's a simple optimization, and if you do it over thousands and thousands of games, your stats will be better for it. Just on balance of probability, you have more fires, you have more engine damage, you have more repair kits being squandered by the enemy. Alright, so I like this. It's not only your fight in the middle here. Getting out into the open, wanting to outspot the one-shot Pangero, picking up the arty, is certainly in your wheelhouse right now. That is your role. And Manti's camo certainly is better than the Tessac. Now, I debate not... would I debate not firing here? I mean, probably not. Maybe I can pound a HE shell into the Tessac, actually. 0.39 accuracy, 1.9 second aim time. There's value in leaving this combat as is, right? Because this guy can't really assume that he's still spotted at this point. So this is actually gold. Because the Tessac's wondering why he just got shot, and the Cent Axe is going to follow up shortly. And there you go. Wonderful stuff. I question why the Cent Axe didn't fire HE there, or Hesh as it may be. Cent Axe is wonderful high explosive squash head ammunition. Should certainly have been using it into the Tessac there for 480 alpha damage, but hey ho. And this is a favourable angle right here, certainly. Being able to poke, and that guy's moving. That guy's moving. Trade it. Okay, now he's not moving. Wow, not getting spotted is wild. Okay, cool. HE? Wonderful. I didn't realize he had intuition HE, actually. Not bad. Still doesn't get spotted. Amazing stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's a 261 trying to spot him, but firing out that sort of distance, wild to not get lit. Okay, Leopard in our base, not a huge consideration. We're not that threatened by cap pressure right now. Okay, cool. Now, we're on full health at this point, and this is the stage of the game where even your light tanks have got to start to get in on the hit point haggling. Right? Hit point haggling at the start of games is for your heavy tanks, your heavily armored TDs, your big boys. Right? That's what they do at the start of the games. They haggle their hit points. They say, okay, I'm going to give you this amount of hit points for this amount of damage, yada, yada, yada. And the light tanks, the mediums, the Borsigs, you know, they stay out of that style of gameplay. As the game goes on, as people lose more and more hit points, now, yeah, we're going to hit point haggle. What are you saying in your magical right now? You're saying, okay, Panchito, I'll take 390 alpha damage to get the kill on you. I don't mind that. Stop and aim, my dude. Stop and aim. It was 360, but okay. Should have just stopped and aim there. Really. Firing on the move at 0.39 accuracy is always a risk. Alright, so what's in the cap at this point? We know where the RT fired from. So DBV. Alright, DBV is in cap. And that RT, bless his heart, he's bold, he's going for it. You like to see that sort of movement. Now, where do you approach this cap from? Because there's a significant question. You can go from a back chat, but I mean, that's a potential delay. Part of you wants to go up this route, right? Because it establishes network with the Global 15. We talk about 2 tanks make a line, 3 tanks a triangle, 4 tanks make a square. And you can kind of see that on the map, this to this to this to this, right? It's not perfect because these two don't have line of sight to each other. But if we went here, we lose line of sight to the Global, so it weakens that principle, right? But in this circumstance, there's a risk of going this way because of the vision presented by the Tessac and the fire support presented by the Leopard. So, at this point, I think tactically it is better to consider this and this as separate engagements. So this supports this supports this. And that they don't have a correlation that we need to go after or a network that we need to go after. Let's just try and use the support of our sent axe coming up behind us and try and isolate this cap when you set engagement from what's happening in the middle. RT just fired again. You know he's already fired one, which means you know he only has 1 shell left at max or is reloading. We can factor that into our decision making here. But this is nice. I didn't actually know that there was a no HE pen. There was a line to approach right here. Okay, getting a lot of distance. I like it. Network. Network. Going up back towards our Centurion. It's very good stuff. Okay, no. Take it. Pressure. You still got 1,000 hit points. You can use them. Oh, but 1,000 hit points you've got, my man. 1,000 hit points. You're sitting here so passively. If you were on a one-shot, I get it. Why? You just give an angle. You're just letting the scent die for complete nothingness right now. Oh, my. Okay. Now, network. It is entirely viable right now to go back towards cap. It's entirely viable to go straight up along there. Because you invite support from your E5. Tessac is a one-shot, he can't really YOLO you. If the DBV YOLOs you here, right, and he comes down, you switch high. Because if you switch high, we know the batch was unloading a minute ago, but we kill the Tessac, right? So, getting distance right now is not really what we want to do. We want to establish network with the E5. Get that E5 in the fight. Get his vision, right? Let's go forward. Let's put ourselves in a multi-level engagement, Manti up front, presented with the E5 at distance, giving fire support. Why are we isolating right now? We put a giant feckin' lock between us and the E5. What are we expecting? What's the danger that we're fearing by going down low right now? We outspot anything like the DBV yellowing over there, and we can duck in on the inside. All we are doing by heading here is isolating ourselves further from the angle, the area that is supported by our last remaining ally. This is really poor endgame play. Really poor endgame play. We are isolating, which is not what you want to do. You network with your last remaining allies. If you have 2 tanks, make a line. Make a line between the positions. You should be able to see him, he should be able to see you the majority of the time, unless you have a very compelling reason for that not to be the case. Duck to the right here, please. Duck to the right. To the right. Funny pig. Okay, E5 is spotted. What does that tell us? Tells us that the Tessac has some unearned presence. Or we assume that it's the Tessac. There's only one tank in the cap, quite possibly the DBV. I don't know if the DBV spots that angle. So we're thinking the Tessac is somewhere still around here at this point. We've got 1,000 hit points, my man. 1,000 hit points. We need to be playing more aggressive. We should be hunting that Tessac right now. Tessac goes down, E5 gets cleared up. That's the second shell we've seen from the RT toward the E5. Got one left, or is reloading, most likely has one left. Okay, very gentle approach. Okay, picks up the kill. Watch the Tessac. Okay, so what do you do in this circumstance where you've just fired and you're worried about egress on a Tessac? Well, you apply proximity to change in engagement conceptually. It's a bit hard to do here, but we talk about preparation. And change in engagement, or the awareness of it, is something that's incredibly important to be aware of. Change in engagement, generally speaking, occurs when you have proximity to change in land. Sometimes it's behind cover, right? An arc or something like that. But generally, you as a player can dictate proximity to change in engagement. We talked about this in an endgame scenario before. But this, in the event that you don't know what you are facing, you don't know where the approach is, this is an infinitely better position than this. Because this is optional, right? You can change engagement to low, you can change engagement to high, and you can do that at your leisure, right? Immediately, based on the change in circumstance. And that afforded flexibility is what you want to look for when confronted with a situation like this, where you're not exactly a little worried of the approach. You want to be looking around and saying, okay, where can I put myself where, regardless of what happens, I can adapt to it. I have a recourse, right? In this case, we want to go to the highest ground available because it means that the Tessac has to present from below us. If you are on the highest land, it is impossible to be approached from an angle that you don't see, generally speaking. So, going toward high, we're going low again, left. Oh, wait, no, this is correct. This is correct. Someone has just left the cap. Okay, we part with the E5. Oh, it would have been... Oh, okay. Right, now we're solo. That's why it would have been really nice to kill the Tessac earlier. 8 degrees of gun depression, I believe, on the Manti. Is that elevation? 3 shot of damage, not bad. Zoom out, my friend. Okay, DBV chasing. That's nice. High ground is good here. High ground is very good. Distance. Patience. Opportunism. Okay. Wonderful. Acquiring distance here is very, very good. Now, going to the corner of the map is actually quite limiting as a light tank in this endgame. Because you are the one with vision, right? So, the correct relocation in this endgame situation is either, okay, go sort of here. Again, proximity to change in engagement. You could go here, wait for the poke on high there, and then you can duck down and get out this way. If you get one more shot into this DBV, he can't aggro play you, unless he comes with the Tessac at the same time, in which case you take the DBV kill and hope the Tessac doesn't fire HG. Right? But you want versatility, you want info at this point. And info can be getting spotted. Your sixth sense goes off in an odd position, and you know the DBV's not outspotting you. It gives you info on the Tessac. So moving in the open here, in the middle, is actually, I think, a better play. Yes, you give up a little bit of high ground, but it's not an engagement that you're sticking in. You're traversing through low ground. And low ground traversal is far less sinful than low ground occupation. So I think going through the middle here just for the sake of extending that vision over the middle a little more, trying to gather a little bit more information, would actually be the correct play. I like this, though. This is nice. All falls. That's what we like. Good stuff. Okay. Right. So what I might do is I might bait the exit, then pull back. Oh, that's gold. That's gold. Poke left, poke left, poke left. Yeah, I want the poke reverse left around here to catch the DBV coming forward, because DBV does not catch you around this lock. Right, so you can delay that and you win that engagement. So inviting that is exciting right now. Got the reload on DBV. Hey chat, can anyone check? Does the Manti beat the DBV's reload? We're assuming the Manti's not using a gun rammer and the DBV is. Oh boy. Oh, that should be a GG. Oh god. Woo! HE misses. It's not. Okay, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Okay. So, how does a DBV win that in the end game? Well, when you're in a TD, even a talented one such as the DBV, just go to cover. Just go to cover. You don't sit there and turn in a circle. Just go to the nearest form of hard cover. Oh, it's a difficult one. What are you thinking, chat? Because I don't know for certain. I'm trying to think back on the game. 51, 1,800. It feels around 50. I mean, 4 HE shells? 4 HE shells, 4 premium? I mean, we don't want to be elitist here, but we gotta factor that in, surely. Like, that is... I'll go 50%. Maybe 51? 4 HE shells, yeah. He had 4, I'm not kidding. He has 20 shells max, and he took 4 HE with 60 pen. It's not looking good. Oh. Oh, thank God, I thought that was side by side for a second. Okay, alright, it's fine, don't worry. And no rations. Yeah, it feels like sort of... I'll be generous and give him 50. I mean, there's a lot of sort of tactical weirdness. It felt like very much playing a... I don't know. Let's I'll get the votes up, chat, so you can get your predictions in. Let's do it. What is the win rate closest to this player? Tell you what, I'll give you a can I change the? Damn it, I can't change the thingies. Boop, bop, boop, 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 boop. I'll give you a 47 chat on this one. 47, 48 percent, 49. Let's see, 50. I'm gonna probably give 50. I don't think it's much higher, if higher at all. It could be lower. Okay, let's go 56% at max. I would be astounded if it's 68%. Okay, so get your predictions in, chat. What do you think? Let's see. So I'm gonna go 50. I'll go 49.8. 49.85. And let's go 1,100 and... No, 1,075 WN8 is my estimate. Gurnzilla. Okay. Gurnzilla. Let's see. Gurnzilla. Alright, was that capital? I think it was. Gurnzilla. Okay, perhaps on NA. There we go. Alright. Let's see what the win rate is. I'm guessing 49% and 1,075 WN8. Listen. What? 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 Those are weird statistics, dude. 28,000 games. Did he just start watching my videos or something? Like, 51.7. I am actually within 2% just of the win rate. Just about. But congratulations to anyone who voted 51, which was one person by the looks of it. You were correct. Actually, wait, it's 52. Screw you, 51 boy. Okay, cool. 52% was the closest. Ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. Look in the description for the next and previous episodes. Come follow me on Twitch. You want to catch these recordings live, and maybe you want to play if you submit one. Find out how to submit below. And yeah, you can find the full playlist there as well. We're probably up to 50 episodes by this point. So, thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.